So in this video, I want to share more context to what's happening, share my side of the story, and also take accountability where I see fit. If this is your first time hearing about any of this, I'm sorry, this is not really the type of content that I align with, but I feel like I just have to say something. End of January, this document, this 20-page document came out about me. It was like a, very negative character assassination type of energy, attacked, me, my character, my aspects of my personal life, me being a bad dog owner, plagiarizing, my work, AI. Wow, it was a lot, right? People were talking about it, making videos about it, and da 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 da, and it was complete fucking chaos, right? Just like a sudden fight or flight, my animalness was like, oh shit, what do I do? Do I say something? Do I not? I think my first reaction was, fuck, well, I need to defend myself. I'm being attacked, right? What do you do when you're getting attacked? You try to defend yourself. And so I was, trying to get my information and my proof together and tell my side of the story. And I was in such a negative space. And I was like, wait, this is not me. This is not really the type of content that I want to put out. And I thought to just address the AI experimentation in my work and then let the petty drama kind of do its thing, because it's drama, people like just discourse and drama naturally. I tried to do that. I put out a statement and just try to focus on what brings me joy. I tried to do that, but it's so loud, the hate is so loud. I don't think we're designed, we haven't evolved yet to the point to handle this much hatred and negativity from the world. I tried creating because that's what I know how to do. I tried putting out a video, tried to introduce my new pet to the world because I was so excited, and still human punching bag, right? Everyone just fucking shooting at me. What I was feeling and what I was going through, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, not even my worst enemy. Even though I was feeling really hurt, betrayed, and misunderstood, I was faced with two options. I can protect and try to protect my image, or I can focus on coming home to myself. Just calming down and finding peace and work on my mental health and my emotional health. It was all fucked up. And so I unplugged from the internet and tried to do that. And then some people thought my silence was an admission of guilt. And I was like, this is so shitty, right? Because people, I feel expect the most and assume the worst. And it's just the territory that we're in. And so I tried my best to heal from this and be okay with being misunderstood, because you can't just live your life trying to make everyone understand you, right? It's not possible. I was making progress, and I was doing a lot of healing and good work, therapy, breath work, trying to get my life back together, trying to move on from this. But even till now, I've been this human punching bag. I had to kind of protect my peace and now here we are, and I am going to try my best to tell my side of the story. I talked to some peers about it, and I feel like this is my last option. Before we kind of really get into everything, I need to give you a little more context on the author of this doc and how they play a role in my life, because I feel like that's important, right? Who is this person? So the author of this document, their name is FenixSoul. And there's usually an unspoken rule in just culture itself to, have boundaries, right? Hey, I'm here creating content, da 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 da, and this community, and try not to blend those lines, try to have a wall. I wanted to maybe see through that and challenge that a little bit, because at the core, we're all human, right? Why am I putting up a wall and trying to, hey, you're over there, I'm over here vibe? That's I feel like that's not really my style. I'm kind of an open arms type of guy. Whenever I post something on Instagram or YouTube, I try my best to answer the comments because you guys are taking time out of your day, you're appreciating my art, and it takes effort to write something, right? And I want to match that energy of your enthusiasm and show my appreciation. I thought maybe I could get to know my community. I think that's so cool. You guys support me, you guys root me on, and I want to try to be of service and availability. FenixSoul was a very vocal, enthusiastic member of this community, commented on a lot of my artwork, take an appreciation and liking, trying to, talk to me and get my attention. And at first, like my initial reaction was like, oh, I don't, but then I'm trying to go back to that principle of everyone is on their own journey, and maybe I can be a positive force of change for someone the way my mentors were for me. They embraced me, and I thought I could kind of pay it forward, and this was my way of doing that. I messaged back and I started chatting with this person, having conversations about art. Every now and then, I think they would try and push a little bit to see how much information they could get, kind of like go into personal life territory, and it would make me feel a little uncomfortable. So I try to steer it back into kind of more art focused, more work focused. We just had like basically kind of casual conversations about our journeys, about life and things. And I had a true intention to want to help. They asked me about my Nima book publisher. I'm like, here you go. That's a little bit of context there. So I'm going to talk here about two conventions. For the first one, I put out an Instagram story asking like, hey, can anyone help with this convention? And I think he messaged me. He's like, hey, if I fly out to Los Angeles and help you, can you house me? And I'll put the whole entire exchange so you can see. And I was hesitant at first because it's a lot of logistics and thinking, right? Like, you're hosting someone, they're flying out here, you are responsible for their experience and for their time, and they were really enthusiastic about wanting to come here and kind of pushing a little bit and like trying to get me to see. I said, I don't want to be impulsive, but let me think a little bit. There are some logistical things. He's like, what are they? Let's knock them out. Who's gonna drive you from the airport to here? List out all the details. I said, hey, I can pay for convention lunches and dinner and try to take you to a party if I'm invited to, blah, blah, blah. Even though maybe I'm a little hesitant and it's a lot to try to host somebody, maybe this person just needs an opportunity, a shot. And I had the ability to give this person that shot. You know what? Why not? What's the worst that can happen? And so they volunteered for that specific convention. I thought it went well. I feel like they showed up, they did good work, and everything was good. And I started to believe maybe this could be an IRL friend. It doesn't have to be just like this internet kind of like, well, like I'm slowly entertaining, like maybe it's possible to let that wall down, right? And so I think for the second convention, and this is where things got really foggy, as you can tell from their document, because they said that trying to take advantage of people and help and promised a lot of things. And so let me kind of tell my side of the story. Hey, Editor Ross here. So I want to interject because this could be important information. We never solidified any talks about payment details before his second convention, AX 2024. Before he came here, I toyed with the idea of possibly having him join us for Comic-Con 2024 at the end of that month, which are the screenshots in his doc. The screenshots in Fen's doc shows me and him bantering. We were talking very casually about important matters. I feel like in his doc, the casual conversation was snipped. He left out some of his banter, which showed more color to our dynamic. But again, after reflecting, I understand that these are sensitive topics and I need to be more aware of the situation and do my part in making sure it was solidified. So after these talks about possibly hosting him for July, some time has passed and I realized I did not want to host him for an entire month, considering hosting is a lot of energy and effort. I don't know him very well and it's convention season. I want to make sure I have enough alone time as much as possible to recharge. Instead, for Comic-Con 2024, we found 2 local people and I did pay them. Every time Fen has worked with us, we provided lodging. These two people were local and did not need lodging. I wish we truly solidified business or payment talks before them coming here. That wasn't solidified, and they flew here, and then in person they asked if they could get paid, and I was like, oh shit, you know, like, this is really sensitive topics. I wish we could have ironed that out before you came here. After talking about it for a bit, we decided to pay them. When I was reading this document, I was a little confused because, like, did this person get paid? Like, they seem very, like, angry, right? And so I looked back in my records. I'm like, we paid him. I know we did. And then I found out, yeah, we did pay him $640 for the weekend. We got convention lunches, dinners, accommodations, hosting. Also, any free merch that he asked for, I'm pretty sure I honored almost all of it. And the convention right after, which he wasn't a part of, he asked for a badge to attend. And I was like, here you go. So we gave him a free badge for another convention too. And so I felt like after all of this is so hard to swallow. Just me trying to assess the situation of like how this gone so sour. I think maybe he had an expectation of wanting me to spotlight him in front of people, like, hey, introduction, and really handhold him through that whole process. At convention, I'm really focused on the community experience. Some of you guys drive really far and you guys fly in and you spend a lot of money to be there, and I really want to be present for you guys. And so when I read his doc saying that I don't like to work, that made me really upset, because I think anyone that has met me at a convention knows that I try my absolute best to be as present as I can. I think I've done conventions for like 7 or 8 years, and for most of them, like 6 or 7 years of conventions, I was there at the beginning of setup day, putting up my prints, trying to get everything to look good, work through convention weekends, and then I helped with breakdown. And I realized at the end of the convention, I was like really depleted, and I don't want to show up giving less than 100%. You know, you guys are paying a lot to be there, and I want to be as present as I can. So in the last like year or two, I've been trying to take a step back and like resting more, you know, so I can be as wired in to help you guys. And I feel like a lot of artists, creators, talent, they have set times, like, oh, I'm going to be here for an hour to sign or 2 hours to sign, like a block of time. But I was still there like for like 6-8 hours straight, trying my best. So it just makes me a little upset to see that. I think in my mind, it was like a little bit of a disconnect considering how much we gave him. And he also goes on to say, oh man, so violating. That I'm a bad dog owner, and when he came here, there was like no dog toys for Milo, and like, dude, he has so many. Like, Fen was a guest coming over to stay at my house. I cleaned up everything for his stay because I wanted him to live in a good environment, you know, and not have dog toys everywhere. I apologize if you felt exploited or used in any way. That's the next thing that I want to touch on, because in their document, they mentioned that I tried coming to Ross first with all this, only to be shut down. And I don't think that's entirely accurate. Their way of coming to me with all this is sending, out of the blue, unsolicited, like a whole thing, 16 points of things I need to improve about myself. Attacking my character, attacking everything, my personal life, my relationship, my friendships. It was just a lot to read. Just really negative. Yeah, I felt like my boundaries was crossed. I don't consider this person a close friend, and so how does he have all these opinions that he's been kind of like chewing on forever, and then out of the blue, boom, here's something that you need to work on. Even though I didn't agree with this method, maybe I do have some blind spots, and let me take some time to read it and see if there's anything valid, because at my core, I do want to become a better person. I try to improve every day, right? And so I thanked him for his passion, and I appreciated his, kind of energy put into this, because obviously he cares. After reflecting on the whole connection and seeing this, I do feel like it was pushing up against what I'm comfortable with. And I told him that I need to take a step back and revert to just internet acquaintances, and I need to protect my peace from all this, because this stuff is like not for me. Maybe I wish I could have done a better job at like sensing you were going through something and reached out a hand and said, hey, these are some serious accusations. This is a lot of negativity. Let's have a voice call. Let's have a video call and talk, or in person or something, right? But it just feels like a little sharp to feel like there's this case built behind your back of things like, all right, this, and then the tipping point, all right, boom, 20-page doc. Let's fuck them up. It's, it's really hard. I want to talk about the Mindy situation, because she put out her kind of statement as well. She was my former assistant, and Mindy was fucking awesome. And so to read that, it hurt me, and I did feel for her, and I wish I could have done better. Mindy was an amazing assistant. She championed me, really was by my side. It was just us working at the studio, trying to figure things out. Everything was really new and fresh. And I wish I did more to show you how much I valued you and how much I cared. You were a rock star. Everything was really new at the time. This was kind of like my first thing getting into it. I am pursuing my passion for a living and trying to figure it out. We were growing. Yeah, we started to get some income, and I was like, okay, what do I do with this income, right? There's no rule book on this, and most businesses fail, and I want to grow it sustainably and responsibly, and I want to keep making dope shit, And so I gave her a raise, not big enough. I invested in an in-house editor for the videos. I invested in an in-house shipping team, because we had to ship out a lot of Nemo books, and I wanted it to arrive in a timely manner, it's safely and packaged. Tried to do my best to show my appreciation. I bought everyone lunch every day. It was, a lot of moving parts. It was very chaotic, and I wish I could have done better to figure out the right moves. I should have made you feel more valued, and I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I wish I did better to show you how much I cared and appreciated you. And I really want to right that wrong. This next topic I want to address is the plagiarizing, because this thing is super upsetting to me, considering the person thinking I plagiarized from, I was considering them like somewhat of a decent friend, a decent confidant. And so to see their true feelings about me after I thought we resolved everything was deeply disorienting. So this artist, Beezul, we went to Japan together, and I was really excited to show him my project. I've been working on it since 2021. I was really excited to share a project so deeply personal to me. So when they saw it, first it was like, oh, cool. And then as they saw more of it, I think I saw their expression change and their energy change, and I started to see their mood change. And I was trying to figure out what's happening, all right? And so that kind of loomed a little bit during the trip. And then I think a few days into it, they asked me, so what's your main character's name? And at that time, it was still like early and rough, but the temp name, I told him, was the kid, like kid, like boy, girl, kid. And I saw him get upset. He's like, Ross, that's the name of my character. Your character's name is the kid or kid? And he said, it's Kid Beezul. Yeah, so I took a moment to process what was happening, to feel their energy and kind of what the situation is. And I asked, like, do you think I copied your character? And they said, well, it's very similar. And I was like, my character literally looks like me. It's a kid with a hoodie. And I was really kind of confused because this is like a literal, almost straight copy paste of what I am. And so I was a little dumbfounded, trying to understand more about what was happening and their change. And I think they really believed that I copied their project and their character. And so we took a minute and then we sat on the pavement. I'm like, dude, what's happening? This is supposed to be a fun trip for us. I don't get what's happening. Like, you really think I copied your character? I put my entire existence and my entire career on the fact that I did not copy your character and I didn't think about it during the conception, and I'm sorry. Like, that's the truth. And they're like, they didn't believe me. And I was like trying to reason with them. I'm like, look, this character is me. I think if I'm trying to understand it right, maybe this is a really personal project for them too, and I can understand the attachment and the how personal it could feel. So we took a beat again and we reconvened later that night for like a final conversation. I'm like, hey, let's talk. He's like, about what? I'm like, well, we have a few days left of Japan and I don't want this to taint our experience. And I feel like we're friends. We've always found a way to iron out differences and have tough conversations. What's happening? If our characters both came out, I would celebrate you. I think it's so cool that we have a similar name. And they said, if I came out with my character and they came out with their character, my community would come attack him and his character, and there would be some witch hunt. And I was like, what? I was really, I guess, taken aback because that did not even with a thought in my mind. And they're like, yeah, I see these things happen all the time. I see these like kind of cancel culture, witch hunting things on Twitter all the time, and it's gonna happen. I guess my assessment now, being in this position, maybe he was trying to get ahead of it or something. I think commented on my plagiarizing retro nostalgia from him, and I'm like, okay, retro nostalgia is a genre, like fantasy and sci-fi. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up with Game Boys and Sega Dreamcasts, and like I grew up around this stuff. For my new project, which is so personal to me, I wanted to tap back into my childhood and what was present at the time. But I saw the look on his face and how his body was positioned and his energy level, and they were living in like a state of hurt and fear. And so to protect the friendship and to keep the peace, I was like, hey, Beezul, I'm willing to change my character's name. And the look of relief on his face, he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, it was a temp name. I'm not really attached to it. And I was just trying to understand where this is coming from, because it seems deeper than what it is. And we hugged it out, and I thought it was chill. Like, I'm trying to throw an olive branch and trying to like, yo, look at how much I'm trying here and to care, right? I'm trying to value our friendship. So after that, I thought it was good, right? They came to say hi at some conventions. Even the day right before the doc came out, the day right before, we were texting, like he messaged me about stuff. We were talking casually, it was all chill. And then the next day, the doc comes out, and to learn his true feelings about me, dogpiling on this, saying all these negative things. I'm a terrible person, and that I copied this project, and like, oh, I dropped out of art school and failed at acting and did YouTube. It was like a lot of that's a lot. Dude. This sucks. I can personally move forward with a clear heart that I put my whole entire existence on the line, that I did not copy his project. All right, let's talk about the AI thing, because I feel like this is a big topic, and it's very, very heated. As you can see, let me just walk you through the process and kind of what happened. In 2022, I made a video thinking AI could be a great tool. It just started coming out, and a lot of creators and artists was looking into it. It's this new shiny thing that spat out art vomit. It looked really ugly. The anatomy was broken everywhere, but it had like some cool promise, you know, some cool colors, some cool texture. And so my video was like exploring, this could maybe be a great tool to get out of your art block, to make maybe compositions, to get some inspiration, because it's just like, wow, right? That was obviously a very long time ago. I left social media at the end of 2022. That was the darkest chapter of my life. My team really felt that during that last year, and I told everyone a year before, hey, 2022 is gonna be my last year for a while. I just can't take it anymore. I'm really depressed and sad, and I don't know what my life is. Just gave them a proper heads up so they can kind of like figure it out on their end. So 2022 came, I unplugged from social media. You know, at that time, I made videos and art every week for like 7 years. Barely had any breaks. It was just like boom, 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 boom. Just because, you know, I have this beautiful thing. I get to create and draw for a living, and I have such a supportive community that roots for me and supports me. I feel like if I stopped, it would be giving up on everyone and giving up myself. I don't know, I just felt like grinding was all I ever knew, because that's how I was raised. You know, my dad just championed me to achieve and like, keep going, son, you know, boom, boom, boom. And I felt really, really burnt out. I couldn't take it anymore, and I left social media to really work on my mental health and my soul and my heart, and just heal and just understand more of who I am. And then I checked myself into a mental health retreat in 2023, which I do need to comment, because both Fen and Beezul colored that so negatively, and it really upsets me. I think they mentioned that this thing that I went to is like a celebrity kind of woo-woo thing with substances, and not that there's anything wrong with that, because there's many valid ways to heal, but for full transparency, I went to something called the Hoffman process, which some of my peers went to, and it was like highly respected, and I wanted to try it out. And so for a week, we disconnected, no phones, no internet, no Wi-Fi, just to work on our issues, our problems, our negative patterns of way of thinking, and just working on healing ourselves. And so I feel like that really changed me as a person. And so to see them comment on that was like highly disrespectful. Anyways, I came back from the retreat, and I was still really tender and vulnerable. It did truly change my life, and I started to see things in another perspective and focus on peace and balance a lot more. Started to make content again, like very slowly. I didn't want to rush into anything, because then I'm kind of going back to my old ways and just like dipping my toe in the water, seeing how I feel, if I still love it. I failed to kind of educate myself on the totality of the AI conversation, just being offline. And I asked my peers, and I asked some people like, hey, what's the state of content these days? Like what's happening? Because I'm curious. Yeah, is it still TikTok dances? So as I slowly came back, I started to see this like really negative firestorm on the topic of AI. I'm a creator that just wants to see it for himself. I've always had like a natural curiosity, and I try to just like experiencing things myself and have my own awareness, my own opinion about it. And I feel like that curiosity, that natural curiosity, gave me so much. It helped me start my YouTube channel, experimenting with video and art, and that curiosity led me to Nima and so much good, right? But as I saw this kind of firestorm get bigger and bigger and bigger, I was like, oh, this is too volatile, this is too much, and I backtracked and I tried to delete it because anyone that touches it seems like people like getting eliminated. And yeah, I was acting out of fear. I backtracked and I tried to hide it. And for that, I'm sorry. I don't want anyone to think like I'm trying to be deceptive. I was trying to navigate it thoughtfully, like maybe there was something there, because I don't want this to be a repeat of every new tool gets kind of shat on and then we use it later. Same thing with digital art. When digital art first came on the scene, people were shitting on it. When people started using references like, oh no, that's cheating. You have to think about everything from your head. And maybe there's a chance for me to scope it out and see if there's anything more to it. Conversation is way out of my field of comprehension. And for the community that I've built and my peers, I should have done better at educating myself on the nuances and the conversations and the environment effects. And I just turned around and went home, essentially. I fucked up, tried to hide it, and for that, I take full accountability for. I apologize. All of this taught me so much, even if a lot of the details here are muddy, right? It's like screenshot wars and snippets, and like it's taught me and it showed me how badly I do want to change and do better. I think about the best version of myself and I'm like, yeah, there's way more I can do to get there. And this is showing me how much more kinder I can be. I can be more empathetic. I can be more intentional. I can be more aware and observant. And I do need to grow up. And when we're talking about like expectations and money stuff, I can put on my professional goggles. I'm really trying to alchemize this moment as an opportunity for good and for change, and to help. I don't know. I think I'm still feeling a lot of emotions from it, and I'm still trying to process it. So forgive me if a lot of my thoughts are a little not completed. Right now, I am in the process of trying to find my new beginning. My mom came here to help me pack boxes. I'm trying to downsize right now. I realize that, 2022 and before, I wore so many hats. I try to do so much just because I wanted to. I thought I could. I made art, helped edit the videos, and I did Patreon and digital art bootcamp, and I made sketches and full painting, did conventions. It was just like, right? Because I didn't want to waste the opportunity. I feel so lucky and blessed to have what I have. As I'm going through all of this, as I went through my healing journey, I realize what's more important to me is my inner peace. And but yeah, I think everyone likes a fresh start. I think the chance for us to, I just want to mention, like, if anyone is going through their own storm, big or small, know that I am right here experiencing it firsthand, and it feels really fucking shitty. It feels like the world is against you, and there's so much hate and negativity, and you feel so misunderstood, and you want to say something, and but just know that this is just one chapter in your whole entire story, and these moments are really going to help you build character, and you can't see it yet, but trust that there's a grander plan for you, and this is going to help you propel you to become the person you know you could be. life will throw stuff at you, and I'm trying to use this as a learning opportunity. To Fen, I'm sorry it unfolded this way. I really cherished our conversations and connection, and I tried, but I couldn't live up to your expectations, and it's yeah. But I truly, from the bottom of my heart, wish you the utmost success and everything that you want, you know? Yeah, and I know that these type of things kind of like combust and take a life of its own, but personally, I want to move on. I felt like I died 5 times in the last 8 weeks, you know? I want to focus my energy on things that excite me and joy and creating an art and just positivity. So that's where I'll be diverting my attention to. My partner showed me a video on cancel culture and witch hunting by ContraPoints, which I think is a really good video and helped me understand more of why these things happen and why it's so toxic and negative for society. So if you guys are interested in that, that's a pretty good watch. Thank you guys for listening. I know it's a bit long. Never done something like this. But I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys soon. So the Kim Jong-gi screenshots. Oh, I 100% do not think I'm anywhere of a comparable to him. He's like up here, I am down here. I think, you know, I was trying to find some references for my large-scale book project. His books are like, what, 350 to 750, 800 pages, and mine is like nearing a similar length. So a similar large-scale art book project, hardcover. I'm trying to find something with a similar vibe. I'm really sorry for any of my wordage that may have caused confusion. I do not think at all we are, yeah, he is. You get it. It's Kim Jong-gi. What the fuck?